So today's training and today's episode is how to create more leads on LinkedIn. This is a pretty a wide topic, and I have people reach out to me often. Obviously, I work with a lot of people leveraging LinkedIn, and there's a few things that you can actually do to generate more leads. And I want to kind of debunk a couple things, but before we do that, as a reminder, my wife and I are doing a free 3-day LinkedIn workshop. It's a workshop built around how to get clients on command through our LinkedIn content strategy. It's from July 28th to the 30th, 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's live and recorded. If you're interested in signing up and you're watching on social, whether it be LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, just type the word workshop in the comments. I'll send you the link. If you're listening on the podcast, super easy. Just go to the description of this episode, grab the link from there, and get yourself registered. And crazy enough, we have 400 people already registered in the first 8 days, which is wild. So this is going to be a big one, and I want you to be there. So what I will say is, first and foremost, gone are the days of having just a outbound DM strategy on LinkedIn, meaning connect with someone, send them a message, book a call. Yes, you can book some calls that way. I teach a strategy where you can book 3 to 5 of those every single week, very organically, not overwhelming. But there was a time where you could book 10, 15, 20 calls in a week doing that. But as we have all found out, the spammers and the pitch slappers on LinkedIn have kind of ruined it for the good ones. They're sending us 18 paragraph long drunkalog verbal vomit messages. They're pitching us from the onset. They bait and switch us, meaning they reach out to us saying they want to connect, saying they want to have a conversation, but you get on there and they just try to sell and pitch you. So if people are telling you, oh, we can generate hundreds and thousands of leads on LinkedIn, it's a fallacy at this point. Any expert, any person that really teaches LinkedIn and they're doing it the right way, they would say the same thing. You can't, from just direct outbound messaging, you cannot generate as many leads and calls booked as you could once before. It's just not possible at this point. But there are other ways, 3 ways in specific, that you can generate and create more leads on LinkedIn. And that's what I wanted to cover with you today. Now, some of these you may be aware of, some of them you may not be aware of, but I wanted to give you kind of 3 keys and 3 things that you can do. So what I wanted to say first and foremost, one of the simplest ways, one of the easiest ways, is if you go to the My Network section on LinkedIn, there is a section where it says grow and catch up. And if you click catch up in that section, it's going to give you everyone that is celebrating or has a job change, someone that's having a birthday, someone that's having a work anniversary, education, meaning they've graduated or they're starting somewhere. Now, the 2 that are most impactful are job changes and work anniversaries, because these are good business conversation starters. So when you go to you can send as many of these as you want. So if I have 15, 16 different messages like this, I can send them all. And the great thing is, LinkedIn gives you a conversation starting message. And it will say, congratulations on starting your new role. All you have to do is click on it, and it will bring up that message, and you just click send. And it will let you know that the message has been sent. And you just continue to go down the line. And I recommend people sending about 5 of these every single day. And here's the thing. When someone messages you back and they say thank you, you can then check and you can see if someone writes back, and I had someone just write back. Now, if that person that writes back, and you don't get too caught up in who should I send it, who should I not send it to? Send it to every person. It's just good networking practice. But the fact is that if the right person reaches back out and says, thank you, I appreciate it, you can then come back over the top and see if you can take the conversation offline. You are so welcome. I know we haven't spoken in a while, or we haven't spoken before, but would love to hear how everything is going at this new role or at your current position. Share more about what I'm working on and how we can support each other and our businesses here on LinkedIn anytime for a call or a Zoom. Because the door is already open. You just have to step through. So leveraging that My Network area and making sure you're catching up with your network using the job changes and the work anniversaries can be to your benefit. And again, my recommendation, send 5 a day. It can't hurt. It can only help. Now, the second thing that I always like to advise people to do to create more conversations is, first and foremost, and I hope you are, if you're creating LinkedIn poll questions, this is a great way to start a conversation. Reason being is you can actually click on the people who have voted. So on a particular poll question that I did, this was earlier in the week. The poll question was, did you know about LinkedIn's new video header feature for newsletters and articles? 25 votes, 56% said no. I can click on the votes. I can click no, I didn't know about it. And it's going to show me all the people that voted for that. Now, the great thing is, if they have a blue arrow next to their name, they're a first connection, which means I can personally reach out to them. So to give you an example, someone they're a director of sales and marketing, that is a great person that I could connect with. I can click the blue arrow, and it's actually going to include in the message a snapshot of the poll question. So this person actually knows where this message is coming from. And a simple message could be, hi, Lori. I just wanted to say thank you so much for voting in my poll question from the other day. Your support means a lot, and if I can be of any help or service to you and your business, don't hesitate to reach out. It's that easy. And again, I'm not trying to pitch or sell. I'm just letting them know that I appreciate them and I'm thanking them. And again, the ball is then in their court, basically, because they could reach back out and say, hey, I would love to talk about, what you could potentially do to help me in my business, or no, thank you, or nothing at all. But this is another way to generate conversation. So if you're conducting LinkedIn polls every single week, which you should be at least one, this is actually, we're going to be teaching this strategy in our free workshop. So make sure you get yourself registered. So again, if you're watching on social, type the word workshop. If you're listening on the podcast, don't forget to head to the description to grab the link to get yourself registered. If you're doing one poll question per week, you have all those people. There's 25 people, 15 people I can send messages to. So I send my outbound messages normally for my new connections. I'll send my 5 catch-up messages, and I'll send 2 or 3 of these. Now the law of numbers are starting to roll in my favor. Now, the third and final thing that I always suggest doing is, number one, making sure that you have a newsletter, because that is a point of contact. So when you have a LinkedIn newsletter, mine is called LinkedIn Tips and Updates. I have 10,375 subscribers now, which is wild. I can click on the subscribers from the newsletter and I can actually see who is following and subscribing to my newsletter. Now, there's first connections, there's second connections, but you want to leverage your first connections. Now, I have a very large base of people that subscribe to mine, so it may take me a little while, but those that have maybe a smaller subscription base to their newsletter edition and to their newsletter as a whole, it may be easier for you to send a message to someone. But you want to send the same kind of message that you would send to someone that voted in your poll. You would send a similar message to that person that subscribed to your newsletter. And it can be a simple message like, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing to my newsletter. I hope you find it value added. And if I could ever be of any help or service to you in your business, don't hesitate to reach out. And thanks again for subscribing. It could be something as easy as that. But also, if you're going through and seeing who's following and they could be good connections for you, add the connections, because you have the option to add connections right from your subscriber list. That is the beautiful thing about that. So if you think about this from a 10,000 foot view, you're connecting with new people each day. You're sending out new messages to those new connections each day. Now you're going into the My Network area, you're going to the catch up area, and you're sending 5 of those little catch up messages to engage conversation. But at the very same time, you're actually going through and you're messaging a few people that have voted in your most recent LinkedIn poll that you did. So now you have those messages going out. And on top of that, you're messaging some of your new subscribers from your LinkedIn newsletter. So it's not just one way of generating leads on LinkedIn. I've given you now 4. Messaging the people that you're newly connected to, catching up with your current connections, messaging your new subscribers, and messaging people that have voted in your poll. This is how you can create more leads on LinkedIn. It's not just one thing, it's multiple things. And I have a few other ways, but I didn't want to overwhelm you with too much information, but this is a great place to get started. Send genuine messages to your new connections, catch up with those in your network, thank people for subscribing, thank people for voting in your polls, and watch your leads and conversations soar. So one last time, if you would like to register for our free LinkedIn workshop called Content That Converts Your LinkedIn Content Journey, it is from July 28th to July 30th, 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just type the word workshop in the comments if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. If you're listening on the podcast, super easy. Head to the description of this episode, click on the link, get yourself registered, and we'll see you there. So I hope you found today's episode and training helpful. Love and gratitude, and I'll talk to you next time.